plain water is essential. I am not going to tell you to stop drinking it. But if water is the only thing going into your body in the morning, you are missing an opportunity to do something that plain water cannot do on its own. After 50, your body's ability to produce nitric oxide, the compound that keeps your blood vessels open, flexible, and responsive, declines significantly. And the downstream effects of that decline are things most men experience without ever connecting them to the same root cause: lower energy, poorer circulation, slower recovery, higher blood pressure, and reduced stamina. The good news is that specific ingredients, things you can add to water or blend into a morning drink, directly support nitric oxide production through pathways that plain water cannot touch. Today, I want to tell you what those ingredients are, exactly why each one works at the biochemical level, and the one critical mistake that cancels the benefit of the most powerful ingredient on the list. I am also going to give you the medication interaction information that most videos on this topic skip entirely, because some of these ingredients interact with common prescriptions in ways that matter clinically. My name is Dr. Elizabeth Kavaler. I am a board-certified urologist and urogynecologist with over 20 years in clinical practice. Vascular health, nitric oxide biology, and their downstream effects on kidney function, bladder health, and pelvic circulation are central to the conditions I treat every week. What I share today is based on published nutritional research, pharmacological evidence, and clinical experience, not an AI script. Let me explain the biology quickly, because it makes everything that follows make sense. Every blood vessel in your body is lined by a single layer of cells called endothelium. These cells produce nitric oxide through an enzyme called endothelial nitric oxide synthase, eNOS. Nitric oxide signals the smooth muscle surrounding the blood vessel to relax, which widens the vessel, lowers blood pressure, and improves blood flow to every tissue downstream. After 50, two things happen simultaneously that reduce nitric oxide availability. First, eNOS enzyme activity declines. The cells produce less of it. Second, oxidative stress increases with age, and reactive oxygen species destroy available nitric oxide faster than it can be replenished. Research published in the Journal of Applied Physiology has documented this age-related endothelial decline and its direct consequences for peripheral and cardiovascular function. Plain water supports hydration and plasma volume, which matters for circulation, but it does not supply nitrates, flavanols, L-citrulline, or antioxidants, the specific substrates and cofactors that eNOS needs to produce nitric oxide at the levels your body was capable of at 30. The morning drink I am about to describe addresses exactly that gap. Ingredient 1. Beetroot or cold-pressed beetroot juice. Beetroot is the richest whole food source of inorganic nitrates. 100 milliliters of cold-pressed beetroot juice contains approximately 250 milligrams of dietary nitrate. When you drink it, those nitrates are concentrated in saliva and reduced to nitrite by bacteria on the tongue. The nitrite then travels to the stomach, where it is converted to nitric oxide under the acidic conditions of the gut, causing direct arterial vasodilation. A 2023 meta-analysis published in the journal Nutrients confirmed that dietary nitrate from beetroot consistently reduces systolic blood pressure by an average of 4 to 5 millimeters of mercury and improves peripheral blood flow in adults. 70 to 150 milliliters in the morning on an empty stomach is the evidence-supported dose. Here is the critical mistake. Do not use antibacterial mouthwash within 90 minutes of drinking beetroot juice. The bacteria on your tongue that convert nitrate to nitrite, the essential first step in nitric oxide production, are destroyed by antibacterial mouthwash within minutes. A study published in Free Radical Biology and Medicine found that use of antibacterial mouthwash eliminated the blood pressure lowering effect of dietary nitrate supplementation entirely by blocking this conversion step. 1 squirt of mouthwash cancels the primary benefit of the whole drink. Brush with fluoride toothpaste if you need to. Avoid antibacterial rinses for at least 90 minutes after your morning drink. Ingredient 2, pomegranate juice or pomegranate seeds. Pomegranate contains punicalagins and ellagic acid. polyphenols with a dual mechanism on nitric oxide availability. They stimulate eNOS enzyme activity directly and simultaneously inhibit the enzyme that degrades nitric oxide. This dual action extends the duration of nitric oxide effect beyond what beetroot alone achieves. A study published in Clinical Nutrition found that regular pomegranate consumption improved arterial wall health markers in patients with cardiovascular risk factors. 100 milliliters of pure pomegranate juice or a small handful of fresh pomegranate seeds is the practical daily dose. Check labels. Most commercial pomegranate juices are diluted with grape juice or heavily sweetened. Ingredient 3. Fresh lemon juice. Lemon contributes two mechanisms. Its vitamin C content protects available nitric oxide from oxidative destruction by free radicals, a critical function in older adults where oxidative stress is the primary reason nitric oxide is being destroyed faster than it is produced. Research published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that ascorbic acid significantly enhanced the vasodilatory effect of dietary nitrate by reducing oxidative nitric oxide quenching. Lemon juice also lowers the pH of the drink, supporting the nitrite to nitric oxide conversion step in the stomach. Half a lemon squeezed into your morning drink delivers both benefits at zero cost. Ingredient 4. Fresh ginger. Ginger contains gingerols, bioactive compounds that directly stimulate eNOS enzyme activity through a pathway separate from the dietary nitrate route. This means ginger and beetroot work in parallel, activating two different nitric oxide production pathways simultaneously. A 2020 review in the International Journal of Molecular Sciences documented ginger's vasodilatory activity and confirmed its eNOS stimulating mechanism. 1 to 2 centimeters of fresh ginger grated or blended into your drink adds meaningful gingerol content. Fresh ginger preserves the highest gingerol concentration. Dried powder has a different bioactive profile. Optional additions. If you want to build on the core 4. Hibiscus. Steep 1 or 2 dried hibiscus flowers in warm water for 5 minutes and add to your drink. Multiple clinical trials have found hibiscus anthocyanins produce meaningful blood pressure reductions over 4 to 6 weeks of daily use. Unsweetened cocoa powder at 1 tablespoon contains epicatechin, which directly activates eNOS through the flavanol pathway, documented in the British Journal of Nutrition. The core 4 are the most evidence-supported foundation. The additions are genuine but optional. If you have looked into nitric oxide supplements, you have probably seen L-arginine. It is in almost every pre-workout product and nitric oxide booster on the market. L-arginine is the direct amino acid substrate that eNOS uses to produce nitric oxide. In theory, more arginine means more nitric oxide. The problem is that L-arginine taken orally is substantially degraded in the gut and liver before it reaches the bloodstream. An enzyme called arginase breaks it down during what is called first-pass metabolism. The result is that oral L-arginine raises blood arginine levels only modestly. L-citrulline bypasses this problem entirely. It is absorbed in the gut without significant degradation, enters the bloodstream intact, and is converted to L-arginine in the kidneys, where it then feeds directly into the eNOS pathway. Research has consistently shown that oral L-citrulline raises blood arginine levels more effectively than oral L-arginine itself. It is counterintuitive but well documented. Watermelon is the richest natural source of L-citrulline. 2 cups of fresh watermelon delivers a clinically meaningful dose. L-citrulline is also available as an inexpensive supplement powder. 3 to 5 grams per day is the dose used in clinical research. Added to your morning drink alongside the other ingredients, it extends the nitric oxide supporting effect through a third independent mechanism. There are 3 medication interactions that matter with this combination, and I want to be direct about them because they are clinically significant. First, if you take antihypertensive medications, blood pressure pills. The combined vasodilatory effect of beetroot juice, pomegranate, and ginger on top of your medication can lower your blood pressure more than intended. In older adults, this can cause dizziness when standing and increase fall risk. This does not mean you cannot have this drink. It means start with a smaller portion, 50 milliliters of beetroot juice rather than 150. Monitor your blood pressure at home when you begin, and mention it to your physician. Second, pomegranate juice inhibits CYP3A4, an enzyme in the liver that metabolizes many common medications, including certain statins, calcium channel blockers, and some blood thinners. If you take any of these medications, speak with your doctor before making pomegranate juice a daily habit. The interaction is documented and real. Third, if you take PDE5 inhibitors, sildenafil or tadalafil, for erectile dysfunction, avoid high-dose beetroot juice within 2 to 3 hours of your medication. The combined vasodilatory effect can cause blood pressure to drop more than intended. As a urologist, I want to add something that no other video on this topic covers. Improving nitric oxide production through dietary means does not just benefit your cardiovascular system and energy levels. It directly benefits your kidneys. The kidneys require adequate nitric oxide-driven vasodilation in their glomerular capillaries to maintain filtration efficiency. When nitric oxide production declines with age, kidney filtration rate decreases. In adults with any degree of kidney function decline, which affects a significant proportion of adults over 60, dietary nitrate and flavanol support for nitric oxide production is a meaningful protective intervention. Additionally, better urinary tract circulation supports bladder wall health and pelvic organ function. Men with poor nitric oxide production frequently show overlapping urinary urgency, erectile concerns, and fatigue, because all of these systems share the same nitric oxide-dependent vascular pathway. Improving the pathway benefits all of them simultaneously. Here is the complete morning drink that incorporates all core ingredients efficiently. In a glass or blender, combine 70 to 100 milliliters of cold-pressed beetroot juice, 100 milliliters of pure pomegranate juice, the juice of half a lemon, 1 to 2 centimeters of fresh ginger grated or blended in, and optionally 3 to 5 grams of L-citrulline powder dissolved in. Stir or blend and drink on an empty stomach, 20 to 30 minutes before breakfast. Do not follow it with antibacterial mouthwash. Do not dilute it with high-sugar orange juice. Drink it fresh. Nitrite in the juice oxidizes back to nitrate on air exposure over time, reducing potency. Total preparation time is under 2 minutes. The cost per serving is approximately 2 to 3 pounds per day, and the combined effect on nitric oxide production through 3 parallel mechanisms simultaneously is significantly greater than any single ingredient alone. Plain water is not the problem. The problem is that after 50, your body needs more than hydration to support the vascular function that energy, circulation, recovery, and organ health all depend on. The ingredients I have described today provide specific substrates, dietary nitrates, flavanols, vitamin C, gingerols, and L-citrulline that address the actual biochemical reasons nitric oxide production declines with age. They work through published pathways. They are affordable, they are accessible, and they are safe for most people when used thoughtfully. 2 minutes in the morning. Start tomorrow. I am Dr. Elizabeth Kavaler. I will see you in the next video.